Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll welcome you to tonight's concert. We're going to try and get this one in. I think we'll make her. Mr. Benjamin Heinz is playing a euphonium solo. What is a euphonium? And you say, well, if you ask a woodwind player to us, it's just another brass instrument. No, I'm not going to come down on that boy. He is all over that instrument. You will see this in just a little bit. So Mr. Benjamin Heinz on euphonium, and we've got Mara McClintock is our vocalist for this evening. Slavonic Spirit. That's kind of Roman's theme. He'll weave that in somewhere along the line. Well, it's not too hot. We got a good evening for a concert. We'll go ahead and get started. So welcome, Mara McClintock and Dr. David Vroman.
Please stand as you are able for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. Two public service announcements. If it does rain hard because these instruments are worth more than my house, we would have to stop. Secondly, if you hear this sound and you're sitting out in the grass by the railroad tracks, you already know, please just walk back by the car so the train passes through. We're going to start with a piece that, the piece that was written that this comes from was called The Damnation of Faust, and it was completed in Paris in 1846, and the premiere was a big disaster. Nobody liked it. Half the seats were full. Hector Berlioz wrote this piece, and he ended up 10,000 francs in debt, and he said, quote, "Nothing in my career as an artist has wounded me more deeply." But then 7 years after he died, they thought this was the greatest thing ever. How would you like that? The success, though, was due in no small part to the march that we're going to play for you, mainly because of the orchestral writing that he did, that sort of thing, and where this march comes from, the Rákóczi March, which many of you probably heard. He said in his memoirs, he said, "The night before my departure for Vienna, for Hungary, a Viennese amateur came up and he said, on the ways of the country he was going to visit, he said, I'm going to bring you these airs. And he brought a book full of traditional music. And he said, if you want the Hungarians to like you, write a piece using one of their national tunes. And that's what he did. He chose a song that had been written in 1809, and it was for the noble family and long active in Hungary, struggling for freedom. And that march has just lived on and lived on. This is the Hungarian March, or the Rákóczi, by Hector Berlioz. Puszta is a suite of gypsy dances that was written back in 1987, and the title refers to a vast prairie that is in Hungary. But the gypsies there used to move their horses around that pasture land, all that land that existed. But these are all newly composed melodies. These were a creation of the composer Jan van der Rost. He's a Belgian composer. He was born back in 1956. But he tried to imitate the character of Brahms and Dvorak and others. And it has typical gypsy music, dance kind of alternations, temperamental, melancholic, different moods, and then also contrasting tempos. There's 4 movements in this. The first movement is simply, every movement actually is simply by some instruction for the music, andante moderato. The second is tranquillo. The third is allegro molto. You'll know we're at the third one because you'll hear the solo clarinet. And the fourth one, marcato. And as I said, Van der Rost, he's a Belgian composer, but he also taught in Japan for a number of years. He was a guest professor there. He was at Bradley back in the late 80s. He did our honor band up there on campus. He's composed over 90 works, mostly for winds, and some for orchestra and choir. I think you will enjoy these gypsy-style dances by Jan van der Rost. This is Puszta. As most of you know, each week we feature a vocal soloist. Now, next week's going to be an exception. We do not have a vocal soloist next week. Instead, we have two instrumental soloists, both from outside the band, so you'll want to catch that. But this week, we're happy to work with Mara McClintock, and she hails from the big city of Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Some people might call that the gateway to the Ozarks. She studied music education at Western Illinois University, graduating in December of 2019. That was a couple years after I graduated from there, Mara. She currently teaches music at Peoria and Notre Dame, where she directs the band and the choir, and she's also the music director for the spring musical as well. This past November, she was part of Peoria Players' production of The Sound of Music, and she held the role of Mother Superior. So here is Mara McClintock, Mother Superior.
Mother Superior will come back, but that's later. This first song is another one near and dear to my heart and to many musical theater nerds. I got to sing this last year with the ever-talented Peoria Municipal Band. So this is On My Own from the 1980 musical Les Miserables. On my own, pretending he's beside me. All alone, I walk with him till morning. Without him, I feel his arms around me. And when I lose my way, I close my eyes and he has found me.
Trees are full of starlight, and all I see is him
love him. I love him, but only on my own. This piece will be familiar to anyone who has had the joy of being in a high school choir program in the past many years. It comes from the Big Yellow Book, is what we call it in my music program, of Italian songs and arias. This is Caro Mio Ben, which basically translates to another uplifting thing, like On My Own, like, oh, my dearest beloved, if you ever leave me, my heart will languish, and you are cruel. So please enjoy Caro Mio Ben.
Caro mio ben, credimi al men, senza di te languisce il cor. Caro mio ben, senza di te languisce il cor. Il tuo fedel sospiro ognor cessa crudel tanto rigor. Cessa crudel tanto rigor. Tanto rigor. Caro mio ben, credimi al men, senza di te languisce il cor. Caro mio ben, credimi al men, senza di te languisce il
Next on our program tonight is a march, and it is by John Philip Sousa. He was a devoted horseman, but it didn't always go well. So he had a beautiful black Arabian steed that he called Aladdin, and as he wrote, he said he was no magic servant at all. He threw him off the horse, wrenched his right shoulder, and there's about 3 or 4 videos you can find on YouTube of John Philip Sousa conducting, and he kind of does this. Well, that's because his shoulder never recovered from being thrown off that horse. The other thing was he published this in about 1926 or so, and it's hearkening back to regimental march characteristics, so the cavalry is on its way. This is John Philip Sousa's Riders for the Flag. So now you're going to be treated to a euphonium solo. How many people actually know what a euphonium is? Oh, I don't even have to say anything then. Born and raised in Bloomington Normal, Ben Heinz is a rising junior over at Illinois Wesleyan University, studies with Ed Reisinger. And he's a principal euphonium in all their ensembles over there. He's an alumnus of our own Peoria-based Youth Music Illinois program. Over here, he participated in Youth Symphony as well as the Senior Jazz Ensemble for 3 years. And he was featured with those groups as well as the Bloomington Normal Youth Symphony, the Illinois Wesleyan Orchestra, and the Brass Band of Central Illinois. Now, you would think that he's playing quite a bit, and he is, but he's also pursuing a double major in physics with concentrations in optics and photonics and in quantum science and technology, while also earning a math minor. Does anybody else have that major? This summer, you can find Ben researching quantum computing algorithms. We had a great talk about it the other day. For inorganic chemistry, he's also tutoring K through 12 math, teaching music lessons, all while being involved in church and, of course, playing the euphonium. Tonight, he's going to perform for you Napoli. It's a theme and variations piece based on Funiculi Funicula, so you will recognize it. Originally, Hermann Bellstedt arranged this for trumpet because he was a cornet soloist with the Sousa Band. So he did that for cornet, and then later on, one of his students, Frank Simon, arranged this for euphonium and band. Please welcome Mr. Ben Heinz. Ben?
That was a
euphonium. Give them another round of applause. we're going to return back to our Slavonic theme for a minute. This is actually from the first movement of a work that was called Serenade for Winds, Opus 44, and it was by a Czech composer, Anton Dvorak. And he was inspired to write this after he had heard Mozart's Serenade for Winds, and it's very Slavonic-like. So this is Slavonic March. Mara is anxious to sing, and I want to remind you, stay there, don't move. She will be with us on Sunday night, and then, as you know, we only have 1 week left, next Wednesday and next Sunday, so August the 10th, our last final concert. So mark those in your calendar and bring some folks with you. And please put your hands together and welcome back Mara McClintock.
I was looking at that program. I was like, there's no way I'm wrong. It's fine. This next tune, the lyrics come from Irish poet W.B. Yeats, published in 1889 under a different title, an old song resung, because he was inspired by the musical ramblings of an old Irish village woman, and he wrote down what he thought it was, made it into a poem. A couple years later, it was set to another Irish folk tune, The Maids of Mourne, but now we call it Down by the Sally Gardens.
Down by the Sally Gardens, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Gardens with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow on the trees. But I, being young and foolish, with her did not agree. In a field by the river, my love and I did stand, and on my leaning shoulder she laid her snow white hand. She bid me take life easy as the grass grows on the ways. But I was young and so foolish, and now I'm full of tears.
This next piece, as was mentioned earlier, is from the beloved musical, The Sound of Music. I was honored to get to partake in the Peoria Players production this past November. Met so many wonderful people, had a blast performing every night with all my nuns. A lot of us still talk sometimes. And I could never get through the song without crying, especially on the last night. So we'll see if I make it tonight. But this is Climb Every Mountain from The Sound of Music.
Climb every mountain
And of course, Mara will be with us on Sunday night as well. The big band era was kind of known as the swing era. I don't know how this got into a program with Slavonic music. I have no idea. This was a period in American music, roughly, a lot of people think 1935 to 1945 or so. Big band jazz featured about 12 to 25 players in jazz bands. We're familiar with that nowadays, using a lot of saxophone, trumpet, trombone, rhythm section. And this particular medley has a number of tunes I think you will recognize. So a little bit of the big band Slavonic music.
How are you supposed to go 9 months without listening to this great band again? The great band. Nice hand for them one more time. Thank you. We also want to thank Pat Sullivan over there and his crew, wonderful staff, for setting all the tables up for us and everything else. Please give them a nice round of applause. One more time for them. We're going to give away a couple dinners right now. First one goes to Lindenhof, so we have lots of good German food out there. And it goes to Chris Kennedy. Where is Chris Kennedy? Chris Kennedy out there? Okay, way back there. Okay, just stay back there. You go back to the table, and we're going to give you your dinner voucher back there. Again, please thank these restaurants for donating these vouchers every week. Tell them that you received them at the Peoria Municipal Band and that you appreciate them giving them, so we would appreciate that. And the other one goes to Carol Smokehouse at Rabers. It goes to Lucia Lehman. It looks like Leamon. Do we have you out there somewhere? Lucia? There you go. I see the hands. Go back to the back table there where you signed up, and we'll give you gift certificates. So right now, with great pleasure, once again, your Peoria Municipal Band.
Well, thanks for coming out tonight. If we could have had just a little breeze, probably one of the nicest evenings of the summer, since it's not so hot and it's overcast and it didn't rain. So thank you for braving the weather. If you listen to the weathermen, you should never come out of your house. So we appreciate you coming out tonight, and hope you'll continue to do so for our final 3 concerts. Several people we want to thank tonight. Mr. Todd Pilon for making us sound good. Todd, a big round of applause. Mr. Ben Heinz, our euphonium soloist, back there in the back. Give him a big round of applause. Mara McClintock over here, Mother Superior. Give her a big round of applause. And then, of course, you know, in the band, there's a number of people that help. George Graves Jr. is our band manager. Jason Shea is our assistant conductor. Kristen Sheets She takes care of the library work. Liz Driscoll does publicity. Mara Shepard does publicity. Frank in the back, he does publicity. And tonight, Jeremy is not here. But we do sincerely appreciate you coming out for the concert. We hope you'll join us Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, and then we hand things off to all the other groups that are active in this area. We're fortunate to have so many groups that offer us that kind of entertainment, so we hope you'll take advantage of it throughout the year. We close as we always do, giving you a few moments to reflect on what a great country it is in which we live. This is America the Beautiful.